Hey everyone, what's up? Good to see everyone again. We're going to talk about this past week, Monday Night Raw, just a couple days ago. I had a great time. I got to attend this Monday Night Raw in person. It was a good go-home show. It was very solid. It was an absolutely great time, let me tell you guys. So, let's roll right into this. So we start with Seth Rollins coming on out to the ring. He's going to announce the rules and regulations for CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. A couple things with this segment. First of all, I don't know how I feel about Drew's shirt. Like, it's the referee shirt, which is fine, but it had the puffy shoulders, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it fit him, but it definitely looks like something more like Becky would wear. Just saying. We will see what he ends up wearing come SummerSlam when he actually does the referee job. The back and forth in the segment was good. Very solid build-up. We didn't actually, I guess, get really any rules or regulations. Essentially what we learned was that they were going to have to do whatever he said, and that he was going to call whatever he wanted to call. If he wanted to count someone out, he would. If he wanted to count the pinfall, he would. He may or may not call a disqualification if that's what happens. So they didn't really specifically say that anything goes, but that's essentially kind of what they're sort of getting at here. Where I think this leaves us is Drew McIntyre picking up the victory. To this point, CM Punk has done a lot of the getting of the upper hand here in this feud, and several things that this allows. If Drew were to pick up the win, this allows Drew to go on and look more into that world title picture and get back into that. CM Punk not winning, whether that's because of Seth Rollins, and it may or may not be, will allow them to carry on their feud. Because, let's face it, the feud between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, once that gets personal, which it already is, and once that gets to be a one-on-one thing, which to this point we haven't gotten that one-on-one yet, we need that. I think everyone can agree that we need to see that. And this allows Seth and Punk to move into that. And I would be very excited to see where that leads. That segment, I think it was very well done, well played. We then had the Judgment Day in their locker room, some issues still going on with Liv. She is still trying to get back at Dominic for making her cry last week, for essentially just setting her aside. This does more to set things up for her and Rhea, and whatever that means moving forward, depending on what ends up happening in that match. Alright. So, this next segment I want to talk about was super exciting for me. Okay? So we had Otis and Tozawa with Maxine, and the Creed brothers with Chad Gable. The match itself was good. There's a lot of back and forth. Had a lot of fun giving Chad some bad time as he's outside of the ring. Cheering on Maxine as she's cheering on Otis and Tozawa. So the match itself is very fun to watch. The much more fun part after the Creeds pick up that victory and they try to go after Otis and Tozawa, Maxine steps in. She steps up to Gable. She slaps him. Good for you, Maxine. Yes. Step up for your boys. Absolutely. I'm here for that. Now, moving on from that, because Maxine gets out of the ring pretty quick because lights started going out in the arena. So excited, the lights started going on. To get to see the Wyatt Six come out in person was so neat. I had goosebumps. I'm holding my phone up with the light, with the fireflies. Being part of the fireflies was just a feeling I hope everyone at some point gets an opportunity to get to experience. Getting to see the Wyatt Six actually ski mask was interesting in and of itself. It was so cool to get to see them take those off, and you get to absolutely see who is behind it all, even though pretty sure most of us already had that figured out. But it was just a very cool moment. It really was. I enjoyed it. What did we have next? So we had a little back and forth between Damian Priest and Gunther. Not face-to-face at all or anything, but that's fine. The words that they said and the video package that was presented get you hyped up for that match. And I think everyone is ready for that. We then got to see Sheamus and Bronson Reed. This was a fun match. I enjoyed it. I really kind of figured that what I thought was going to happen was going to happen. Pete Dunne did come out. It was kind of cool to see him out there. We did get the opportunity to see him prior to the show starting. They did I don't remember if that was the episode of Speed or Main Event, one of the two, because they did I think it was 3 matches, some that were going to be for Main Event, some for Speed, but Pete Dunne was out there, so I did get the opportunity to actually see him working in the ring, so that was neat. This match itself it was solid. We then got to see a promo from Bronson, or from Breakker, concerning his upcoming match on Sunday for the Intercontinental Championship. That was a very good promo. He kind of struck the right chord there. We then got a couple of matches set up earlier in the evening while the Judgment Day was in their room. That set up Jey Uso versus Carlito and Sami Zayn versus Dominic Mysterio. So Jey and Carlito was kind of fun. It was hilarious to see Jey Uso spear the apple out of Carlito's mouth that he had just eaten. It's fun to watch the referee in person trying to tell Carlito, you can't just grab an apple and take a bite of an apple. So that was fun. Jey Uso ends up picking up the victory there, so that was interesting. That was fun. Kind of continues things still with Jey and the Judgment Day, and we will see where that continues to go. What else? Then we learned that the host of SummerSlam, because it is being held in Ohio, is going to be The Miz, who's from Cleveland, right? super fun. You end up getting R-Truth in there, and that is fun as well. Love R-Truth. It's always hilarious. And kind of excited to see Liz host SummerSlam. Makes sense, right? Home city, hometown, and Miz is a great host. Not gonna lie, he is. We then get Xavier Woods with Karrion Kross and the rest of the Final Testament out there. Alright, gonna tell you something here. This was a fun match. So I had the opportunity to see, why I'm blanking on her name, I do not know. I am blanking on her name. She's always down there with Karrion Kross. But at any rate, we got to just kind of talk to her and kind of razz her a little bit. Good-naturedly, like we weren't being serious about it at all. But it was kind of fun, just getting to be that close. Getting to see the rest of the Final Testament was fun. So Karrion Kross picks the victory over Xavier Woods. And here's the thing. So I get they're trying to build up Karrion Kross and the rest of the Final Testament. I do understand that. However, I would like to see some more wins coming from Xavier Woods. Unless, of course, the route that they're going is to finally break up Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, which right now I don't know that that's the route that they're going. I really don't. And I don't think they need to yet. At some point, yes, probably. But right now, the New Day is doing plenty fine. I don't think you need to break them up. But that might be the route that they go. Potentially. We then get Sami Zayn. He's backstage, but he is getting ready to come on out. Getting to hear him speak just before he's coming out, like, we know he's coming out, and it was so fun. I loved it. We got to hear from Liv Morgan. That promo was very well done. So we didn't actually get to see Liv or Rhea actually face to face, and that's okay, because the promos that they did individually are making up for that and absolutely getting to want to see this championship match. I am absolutely here for it. So, we then get that Sami Zayn Dominic Mysterio match. We have both of them coming out alone. Until, of course, JD McDonough and Carlito do eventually end up coming out to the ring. Sami Zayn does end up picking up the victory because of a disqualification, and that is unfortunate. However, I don't know what that's going to mean for the rest of the Judgment Day, because Rhea made it very clear that she wanted everyone to handle that business on their own tonight. She wanted everyone to handle their own business at SummerSlam, mostly meaning her and Damian, because Finn and JD do not necessarily have a match at the moment for the tag titles. But with that being said, Braun Breaker does come on out. The save is made by Jey Uso. So that's a nice little touch there. Yeah. We did get, it looks like another video. Well, that was from last week. Okay, never mind. We then had a response from Rhea, and like I said, both of their responses were absolutely great and build up this match. I don't think that they had to both be out there in person at all. We got a fun tag team match. We had Lyra with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter taking on Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville. This match did several different things, right? It gets these women on TV. It introduces you to these two tag teams and keeps them in the front of your mind and lets you know that these women have something to prove in the women's tag division. We did not get the tag champs coming on out. However, we did get, after Baszler, Stark, and Sonya Deville won, they tried to go after that post-match attack. However, Damage Control would slide into the ring. That being Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. Now, I'm going to take a moment here because some people felt like this was trying to make them look like baby faces. And like that is what they're turning into. I don't think so. This little segment does not necessarily signal a baby face change. Okay? At the end of the day, I think what this was doing was letting Shayna, Zoe, and Sonya know they do not run Monday Night Raw. Damage Control is in charge. That's why they came out. It was not to make a save. It was not to put on a baby face persona. This is, we are in charge. We don't know who you are, thinking you can come in here and say that you are in charge, but we are back on Monday night. We are in charge of the women's division. That's what that was to signify. So I don't think this is turning them babyface at all. One thing that was mentioned, and I don't know that I have a way to pull it up. I didn't get the opportunity to see it, but there was a promo done by Damage Control. Mostly with Dakota Kai talking, but some were saying that there was a Wyatt 6 symbol behind her, and I have not been able to find that yet. Let me see what I can find out here. And I should have actually already done this for you guys. I'm so sorry. But I want to... I didn't actually get to see it because it was behind me, and even turning around, I couldn't see it. Yeah, I couldn't. No, so I am not able to actually see that. But that's okay. So some people are saying that could be maybe the next target for the Wyatt 6, and that's possible. I don't know why necessarily the Wyatt 6 would go after Dakota Kai, potentially Nikki Cross, and that would give Nikki Cross something to do. For the Wyatt 6, that maybe makes sense. But as far as I can tell, like Dakota Kai has not really done anything wrong to anyone within the Wyatt 6. one thing that was brought up on social media was that Dakota Kai attacked Bailey and like pretended to still be her friend after all of that. But I don't know that Bailey was ever tied necessarily to anyone within the Wyatt Six either. So that doesn't necessarily make sense in my mind, at least. But maybe they're going to come up with something through that. One other segment, we had Sami Zayn and Dominic Mysterio. We already talked about that. Moving on. I completely missed this segment. So the closing of the show is Finn Balor and Gunther. I don't know why that didn't even get brought up, but it did not. As I'm looking online here, Gunther ends up coming out on top because Balor passes out. He then attempts to not let go of that hold. Damian Priest runs out and he makes the save, and Gunther and him brawl. Oh. There, now I see it. Okay. Yeah. At any rate. Damian comes out, he makes the save. I wasn't really sure how this was going to go, because Damian is brawling with Gunther, which is fine. But because Finn was so set on doing this by himself, afterwards I didn't really know how that was going to play out once Gunther was gone. I didn't know if Finn was going to get upset with Damian for getting involved, but he did not. The two of them left both perfectly fine. Finn did not try to turn on him at all or anything, did not get upset at all. But there was kind of a tense moment where I wondered if that wasn't going to happen, because it could have. Maybe not completely turned, but he could have at least shown that he was upset about the fact that Damian involved himself. So I'm kind of glad to see that that did not happen. So that is what I have for you for Monday Night Raw. Look forward to hearing your guys' takes, whether you agree, disagree. Let me know. Love to have a conversation. Let me know if somehow I missed something. I don't think I did, but at any rate, we will see you guys next time.